Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unrest in Serbia continues with third straight night of anti-government protests.
Serbia is seeing another night of clashes between anti-government protesters and security forces. Footage appears to show police throwing flares at protesters, with rioters throwing objects and fireworks back at the police in the capital, Belgrade. Violence has been rocking the country for the past several days after members of the ruling Serbian Progressive Party were accused of throwing fireworks at protesters. Anti-government demonstrations were triggered months ago after a deadly roof collapse at a train station. Dozens of people have been injured in the...
Well, that's crazy. We reacted to the roof collapse and then, like the sonic weapon, but that was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
It's still going on. I did not realize it's still going. I thought that situation has been resolved already. That's crazy.
Recent unrest with hundreds more detained.
Protesters faced off with riot police, separating them from right-wing government loyalists in downtown Belgrade. Armored vehicles rolled through parts of the capital, and police fired tear gas at demonstrators. There were also violent protests in other Serbian cities, including in Valjevo, where videos shared on social media showed officers with batons beating an unarmed demonstrator. The unrest marks a sharp escalation of protests, which have gripped Serbia almost daily for 9 months. But this week, the tension spiked after groups of pro-government supporters allegedly attacked anti-government demonstrators, who in turn were accused of throwing rocks and eggs at police.
This cooperation between thugs, the police and the ruling SNS party has never been seen before. All of us citizens are very upset by these developments.
Student-led anti-government protests were initially triggered last November by the collapse of a railway station roof in the town of Novi Sad, which killed 16 people. Many Serbians blamed the incident on government corruption and shoddy construction contracts linked to allies of the ruling Serbian Progressive Party. Since then, demonstrations have swelled, fueled by wider frustrations over Serbia's economy, media restrictions, and alleged misuse of public funds. Protesters are now demanding early elections in hopes of ousting President Aleksandar Vučić and his party. But Vučić has remained defiant, denouncing the demonstrations as part of a foreign plot to overthrow him. He also praised the conduct of the police and pledged more arrests after the protests. But even the threat of a harsh police crackdown has not deterred demonstrators, who have announced more protests across Serbia. They're demanding accountability.
this is like every night.
I guess we gotta give it to people, man. They're standing for what they believe in. 9 months straight up protest after protest after protest. They're really not letting this go. You gotta give it up to them, because like here, there was protests when Trump got elected, like the first weekend or whatever. Like the anti-ICE protests, whatever there was for the 1 weekend, 2 weekends. It's kind of died down. Everybody's like, okay, whatever. We did our duties and nothing is changing. Here in Serbia, they said nothing is changing. Well, guess what? We're gonna be here the next Saturday, and I guess this is not even on Saturday. This is like on a Monday or whenever it was. So good for people that they stand up.
For November's station collapse and an end to what they call a culture of corruption and impunity.
DW correspondent Idro Seferi in Belgrade has more on these clashes.
Well, flares, tear gas, and crowd control vehicles were used from the police last night to spread the protesters. Everything started peacefully around 8 p.m. When the protesters gathered near the army headquarters, which was bombed during the NATO bombing in '99. But then a few hours later, we could see clashes, and the streets of capital of Serbia were blocked, and a lot of tensions and also physical violence was seen in the streets of Belgrade. Dozens of people were arrested. We don't have official numbers and figures how many people were arrested and how many of them were injured, but it's obvious that it was one of the biggest clashes we could see these days and this period during the anti-government protests in Serbia.
Now, Serbians have been protesting for almost a year now, and the protests have been largely peaceful so far. Why did they turn violent now?
This is the biggest clash we have seen for all this time. Of course, there were other
They were already violent. I don't see it becoming
Yeah,
violent.
remember the son? We saw sonic
Yeah.
weapons. The protests were not like peaceful, where people were just standing and like chanting. Nah, they were all. Now, I'm not saying that it's people's fault. You know, the way police reacting too, and so. But I wouldn't say it was mostly peaceful protests. Yeah.
incidents in June, but 4 nights ago, protesters were protesting in few cities in Serbia when supporters of leading government party, Progressive Party of Alexander Vucic, who is the president, they went in the streets and they clashed with
I
protesters.
wonder if like the Congress, the Parliament, whatever is like the government entity there, if they can like take the president down, like vote him out, or it's just like president only can step down. Because if only president can step down, the parliament can't vote him out, then okay, it's only his decision. This is, it is. But if the parliament, Congress can vote him out, I am kind of a little bit surprised that they haven't. Yeah, I mean, for 9 months, I mean, okay, people are clearly not letting this go. I don't know.
Attacking them, and then we could see that this is almost like a civil war in the streets, and then this spread anger among protesters, the students who lead this protest, but
Fireworks.
also
Like actual
the
fireworks.
citizens who support them. And every night since then, it has been repeating the same scenes that we can see now. They have been repeating in different cities of Serbia, and it's
Right
most
now, you
likely
don't see no local cars traveling at this part.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
the
it's,
roads
shut
are
down
yeah.
for this protest.
The roads are different. Even if it's not, I think cars can't drive through because there's so many people.
going to continue like that.
Now, these protests are, of course, against the government of President Vucic. What is he saying?
He gave an interview. Where he accused actually foreign forces. He said that it's very obvious that the center and motivation of this protest is not inside Serbia, but it's a foreign factor that is trying to.
So I wonder what country he's blaming for it, because foreign country and foreign implies there's a country. So like here in the States, we like to blame Russia, China, like that, the two countries to go for everything. I wonder what's there in Serbia. They're blaming Russia. They're blaming maybe Croatia because of the history. Albania. I don't know.
Destroy the future of Serbia. Of course, we could see that he said that there will be no elections, as students are demanding for snap elections to resolve this problem. But he said that the elections will happen most probably before the time that is set up by law, but not when the protesters are demanding, and that police and state will show strength using every night more than 3,000 police officers to stop those who want to gain power with violence in the streets.
DW correspondent Idro Seferi there, reporting from the Serbian capital, Belgrade. Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. If you could like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. As always, share as much kindness as possible.